Debbie, thank you for your warm welcome. Today, it is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker. He had a vision of Xerox as a total quality company in 1982. He knew that successful companies were differentiated by the quality of their products and services and their focus on the customer. His many trips to Japan in the early 70s and 80s convinced him that we had to have greater expectations, both for ourselves and for Xerox, in terms of quality, cost, and delivery of the products and the services that we supply to all of our customers. In late 82 and early 83, he led the top 25 executives in Xerox in the development of the Leadership Through Quality strategy. He appointed and worked with the Corporate Quality Implementation Team and the Quality Training Task Force through the latter half of 1983 to develop the Tactical Implementation Plan. At the beginning of 1984, he led his family group through the first formal training session of Leadership Through Quality. Since 1984, he has been the force behind the continued commitment of Xerox to Leadership Through Quality. He was one of the leaders in deciding that Xerox must apply for the U.S. Quality Award, named after Malcolm Baldrige, the late Secretary of Commerce. He has been a leader in quality on the national stage in advocating that all of U.S. industry embark upon a continuous quality journey. He has been heavily involved in Corporate Quality Days, a forum that meets at least once a month where we bring in 25 customers to discuss our quality plans and share our experiences with them. This year, he accepted the role of Chairman of National Quality Month. In this capacity, he sponsored a very successful Xerox Education Quality Forum. At the forum, more than 60 deans and professors from America's leading universities discussed and agreed to implement changes in business education at both the undergraduate and the graduate levels that will ensure a greater focus on quality. This man has shown a strong, unending commitment to quality improvement in Xerox and in the United States. Today's Teamwork Days that are being held concurrently in Rochester, Dallas, and El Segundo demonstrate how his vision has been implemented. Ladies and gentlemen, our Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, David Kearns.
Norman, thank you very much. You did such a marvelous job. I really think it's important that we don't take ourselves all too seriously, but I really do appreciate that, and I have had a lot of fun being involved with all of you in our Xerox crusade on quality. Now, when I came up here on the plane early this morning, I felt quite good. It was raining in Connecticut, and it was raining and cold here in Rochester, but my spirits were up, and I'm really feeling very good about the company. Now, usually these are extraordinarily invigorating days, but it hadn't occurred to me till I came back in here this afternoon that something must be going on. Lowe, Rand, Hicks, and Allaire have all left town and left me here in their territory all by myself. Now, they may know something that I do not know. Now, the second point is that you all know that things are fancier always in Southern California. And those of us here in Rochester probably noticed that they had a fancy glass podium. Now, 2 years ago when I was out there, they also had a fancy glass podium, and I was kind of teasing and said, gee, if I had known this, I would have gotten not just my jacket pressed, but my pants pressed as well. Well, I was only teasing. Rand, you did not get your pants pressed. Now, this whole Teamwork Day here in Rochester, and I suspect in Dallas and well in Garden City in California, it's been exactly the same, and it is an epitome, really, of employee involvement, and it's been done in a very, very professional way. I do hope, and I said this along the way a little bit, I hope we don't lose our spontaneity as we get extraordinarily professional at the way we run these events. But I am impressed, and Joan Sassoon here in Rochester and that team, you have done just a splendid job, and I, in fact, am impressed. Now, someone, and I don't know whose idea that it was, but I think these buttons that many of you are wearing and have been given out, having to do with Teamwork 89, they look like this, and on that button it says, I make a difference. But some very thoughtful person had a special badge made up for me, and it says, thanks for making a difference. And I would like to start out and say, as every other speaker has said today, is that you really do make a difference. What you do is important, and you should take that message back to your families and friends as well. And I hope that as we continue on this crusade that you also are having a good time. And Teamwork Day gives us, frankly, an opportunity to be with our suppliers and our customers and our fellow employees and to revel a bit in many of our successes. Now, everybody has talked about our customers today. That clearly is the number one focus, and it's exciting to have so many of you at our sessions, and I hope you will give us a little break as we pat each other on the back. Years ago, Joe Wilson said, the customer is why we exist. This is really not a new thought for us at Xerox. We just lost our way along the line in the 1970s, but there isn't any question now that customers are the reason that we exist. And many of you have heard me say this over and over again, but as a young salesman just out of the Navy here in Rochester, New York, I called on the chairman of the largest company in this town, and I won't mention its name because they are a major competitor of ours. But I screwed my courage up and went in to sell him on something and said, I really want to thank him for the business. He said, you're the only vendor that ever came in my 35 years of business and said thank you. And I said I wanted to thank him for my new bride and a new baby. And today I want to thank all of our customers all over because you are paying our salaries, and I want to thank you for my not-so-new bride, my 6 children and 6 grandchildren, because we really do appreciate it. And frankly, it's because my job depends upon satisfying all of you. We also have here today our suppliers, and I consider our suppliers part of Team Xerox. We need you, and we depend upon you, and we appreciate what you are doing for us. Now, I would like to introduce some very special guests. We have some especially distinguished guests from out of the country, from Aguas Calientes in Mexico, where one of our major worldwide manufacturing plants is located. And I would like to introduce to all of you here in Rochester and those out on the circuit, the governor of the state of Aguas Calientes, Miguel Angel Barberina. With the governor is the mayor of Aguas Calientes, Hector del Villar. Mr. Mayor. And the Secretary of Planning and Development for the state of Aguas Calientes, Alfonso de Lara. Now, we also have quite a few visitors here from our Mexican company, which I've had a chance to be with today, and you may see my little Mexican badge on, and I won't say too much more about that, but the mayor and the governor, being good politicians, I noticed they were out shaking hands with their constituents. Now, we do have another group of distinguished visitors, and they are the youngest contingent that I believe we have ever had at a Teamwork Day, and they are representatives of the Greece Acadia Middle School, and I would like to ask them to stand. Where are they? Now, these young people are studying the concepts of teamwork and problem solving as part of their schoolwork. And as a lot of you know, I've been spending a lot of time on the American education system, and let me tell you, you really make me feel good. I asked their teacher, how did they decide who was going to come today of the 100 and some seventh graders that they have, and she said, well, they just used the problem solving techniques and got together and decided which ones would come. Now, there's been a lot of discussion today about the first Teamwork Day in the cafeteria with 30 teams or so. It seems like a long time ago. It was in 1983, and as we look around today, we have come a long ways, but a key ingredient right from the very beginning, having to do with the entire leadership through quality process in Xerox, is the healthy partnership that we have with the Amalgamating Clothing and Textile Workers Union. It is absolutely, I believe, unique in the history of industrial relations, not in Monroe County or California or Texas, but for our country. It was forged by Joe Wilson and Abe Chapman many years ago and sustained by Murray Finley, Les Calder, Tony Costanza, Jack Shankman, Howard Ware, Paul Luzzi, and this morning we heard an inspiring talk by Art Lovey, the new Secretary-Treasurer of the Amalgamated. And Art talked about the importance of this very unique relationship. But in addition to that, he talked about the opportunity that we all have to change the face of our nation, not just in labor-industrial relations, but better lives for everyone. And I think all of us at Xerox really do know that we as individuals or as a company cannot be successful unless the society that we work in is also successful. Now, this partnership has been very special, and I believe gives us a competitive advantage. The Amalgamated has been a trusted partner, but also, frankly, a tough and honest critic. Nearly 6 years ago, we launched Leadership Through Quality, and the results are now pouring in. Paul spoke about it, Waylon talked about it, Barry talked about it, and Bill Lowe talked about some very specific objectives as well. We have lots of evidence today by all of the things that we've seen. Thousands of people have been involved with these teams, these efforts, and make no mistake about it, the quality process is driving this corporation today. Now, where are we? What is our present assessment? Well, we have a very good feeling about what that assessment is because we have just completed our application for the National Quality Award and have just completed the site examination. By external U.S. comparisons, we are really good. We may even be good enough to win that award. Every single Xerox person, everywhere in the world, and their families should feel good about where we are today and the progress that we have made. Having said that, we also know, because of the quality process, that our customers demand us to be much better than we are today, and their expectations of us will continue to rise. And now is the time to reset our sights so that we can be out in front with goals of quality, reliability, costs in every function that will exceed our customer requirements. We have a quality process in place that every person in Xerox will use. But we want to ensure that that process itself is continuously improved. We want to ensure that that process is used to give us results, not for the process itself, and never forget that. We want to ensure that we use this process to leverage our best opportunities. And we want to ensure that we use it to continually improve every single thing that we do. We will use the work that has been done on the National Quality Award to launch us on a whole new phase with much higher expectations of our leadership through quality, better use of statistical techniques, clearer and fewer objectives for each of you and for your piece of our three main objectives, and a better focus on customer share, on market share, and a major leap forward in customer satisfaction and world-class leadership in every single function in this company. Being best in our industry is good, but it is not nearly good enough. Who says we can't make a copier that is more reliable or as reliable as a refrigerator or a telephone? Who says that our billing quality can't be as good as American Express? Who says we can't have 0 defects on incoming parts and outgoing finished machines? And who says that we can't have 100% customer satisfaction? Well, not me, and not any Xerox person with our new set of expectations. We know now that we will be better. We know now that we can compete with anyone and win, not tie, win. Our customer expectations will continue to increase, and our competitors will get even better. We are in a race that does not have a finish line. 5 years ago, that would have concerned all of us, that we did not know where the end was. Today, we are invigorated by running with the best and beating the best. The company is ready to move confidently ahead to a completely new level of customer satisfaction, market share, and returns for our shareholders. And I cannot tell you how proud that I felt for all of you and the work that you did during the site examination. You hit a home run at every single opportunity 4 days in a row, and you put this company's best foot forward. I don't know if we'll win, but as I started, by golly, we are good enough to win, and you did it. I appreciate it. We are on a crusade to be better than anybody else, and I think we can do it. Thanks very much for letting me participate with all of you. I'm not going to sing an encore, thank God, but let me tell you, that's what makes Johnny run. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, David, for those very inspiring remarks. You're very important to us for believing that we could change and for providing the direction, the enthusiasm, the encouragement, and the support to make it happen. More than anyone, David, you made a difference to this corporation, and we thank you. As we conclude today's program, I'd like to thank all of you for coming and close with a video presentation that sums up what Teamwork 89 has been all about. It pays tribute to you for your continuous commitment to leadership through quality and to teamwork. Thank you all for making a difference.
We made a difference.
We made a difference.
We made a difference.
We made a difference.
Our congratulations to everyone who participated in Teamwork 89, and so long until next year.